Did you know that the coffee you enjoy every morning could be linked to the strength of your bones? Most people think about coffee in terms of energy or sleep, but few realize it may influence bone density and even joint pain. Caffeine, the main stimulant in coffee, can slightly reduce calcium absorption in the body. If calcium levels are not replaced through diet, this may gradually weaken bones over time. For older adults, especially those over 50, this can be a real concern because bone loss naturally increases with age. But here is the surprising part. Studies also show that moderate coffee consumption may not be harmful at all. In fact, when paired with enough calcium and vitamin D, coffee drinkers can still maintain strong, healthy bones. So, is coffee a silent threat to your skeleton, or can it be part of a balanced lifestyle? In this video, we will uncover both the risks and benefits of coffee for bone density and joint health. Stay with me to learn the truth and how to drink coffee wisely for your bones. Before we begin, remember to like this video and subscribe for more health tips you can trust every day. As we age past 50, our bones and joints naturally go through changes. Bone density slowly decreases because the body breaks down old bone faster than it builds new bone. For many people, this loss is small at first, but over time it can lead to osteoporosis, a condition where bones become fragile and more likely to break. At the same time, joints often start to show wear and tear. Cartilage, the soft tissue that cushions our joints, can thin out. This may result in stiffness, soreness, or pain that shows up most often in the knees, hips, or lower back. These changes do not happen overnight, but they affect almost everyone to some degree after middle age. The impact on daily life can be significant. Simple tasks like walking, climbing stairs, or lifting groceries may feel harder than before. And for those with existing conditions such as arthritis, pain and swelling can make it even more challenging. This is why protecting bone strength and joint health becomes so important after 50. It is not just about avoiding fractures or reducing pain, it is about maintaining independence and quality of life. By understanding how bones and joints change with age, we can make better choices to keep them strong. And in this video, we will explore how coffee fits into that picture, both the risks and the possible benefits. Caffeine and calcium absorption. Calcium is one of the most important minerals for bone health. It acts like the building blocks that keep bones strong and dense. After the age of 50, the body's ability to hold on to calcium becomes even more important because bone density is already declining. Caffeine, the main active compound in coffee, can interfere with this process. Studies show that drinking coffee may slightly reduce the absorption of calcium from the foods you eat. In simple terms, caffeine increases calcium loss through urine, which means that over time the body may lose more calcium than it keeps. The effect is not huge from one cup, but it can add up when several cups are consumed daily. For example, research suggests that for every 100 milligrams of caffeine, the body may lose about 6 milligrams of calcium. That is roughly the amount of caffeine in one regular cup of coffee. If this pattern repeats every day without enough calcium intake, bones can become weaker. This does not mean that coffee must be avoided completely. The impact of caffeine on calcium is considered mild when people have a balanced diet. If you get enough calcium from foods such as dairy products, green vegetables, or fortified plant-based milk, the negative effect of caffeine is much smaller. In fact, some studies suggest that moderate coffee consumption, about 1 to 2 cups per day, does not increase fracture risk in people who eat enough calcium. The real risk comes with high coffee intake, especially more than 3 or 4 cups daily, combined with low calcium intake. In those cases, caffeine can speed up bone loss and raise the chance of osteoporosis and fractures. The key message is balance. Coffee can still be part of a healthy lifestyle if you also make sure your diet supports strong bones. Pairing coffee with calcium-rich foods, limiting excess sugar and cream, and keeping coffee within moderate limits all help reduce risks. Coffee and bone density research. Scientists have studied the link between coffee and bone health for decades. The results may surprise you. Coffee does not automatically cause weak bones, but the way it is consumed can play a big role in the outcome. Large population studies have shown mixed results. For example, some research involving tens of thousands of adults found that people who drank moderate amounts of coffee, about 1 to 2 cups per day, did not have a higher risk of fractures compared to non-coffee drinkers. In fact, when calcium intake was adequate, the risk was nearly the same. Other studies, however, noted that drinking more than 3 or 4 cups per day could increase the risk of bone loss, especially in older adults with low calcium intake. This is because high levels of caffeine can interfere with calcium absorption and speed up bone thinning, leading to osteoporosis over time. One study from Sweden, involving over 61,000 women, found that those who drank 4 or more cups of coffee daily had a slightly higher risk of fractures. But again, this effect was most noticeable in women who did not get enough calcium in their diet. When calcium intake was sufficient, the added risk from coffee was very small. Researchers agree on one main point: balance matters more than fear. Moderate coffee consumption, combined with a healthy diet rich in calcium and vitamin D, is unlikely to cause osteoporosis. The real concern arises when coffee is consumed in excess without proper nutrition. For older adults, this means 1 to 2 cups per day is generally safe if you also eat calcium-rich foods. It is not necessary to avoid coffee entirely, but it is important to keep it within healthy limits. Science shows that the danger comes from overconsumption and poor diet, not from moderate coffee enjoyed as part of balanced living. Coffee and joint pain. When it comes to joint pain and arthritis, coffee has sparked plenty of debate. Some people believe coffee makes inflammation worse, while others find it actually helps reduce stiffness. The truth, according to science, lies somewhere in the middle. Coffee contains powerful antioxidants, including polyphenols, which may help reduce inflammation in the body. These compounds fight oxidative stress, a key driver of joint damage in conditions like osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. For some adults, moderate coffee consumption has been linked with fewer inflammatory markers in the blood. On the other hand, coffee also contains caffeine, which can act as a mild stimulant. For certain people, especially those sensitive to caffeine, drinking too much coffee may increase feelings of tension or discomfort in the muscles and joints. Research has shown that heavy coffee consumption, more than 3 or 4 cups per day, might worsen symptoms in people with arthritis who already have high inflammation. A study from Finland found that people who drank large amounts of coffee had a slightly higher risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis. But again, the connection was not strong, and other studies have suggested protective effects. This is why experts emphasize moderation and individual response. If you are over 50 and already dealing with stiff joints, 1 to 2 cups of coffee per day is unlikely to cause harm. In fact, it may even provide anti-inflammatory benefits, especially if paired with a diet rich in omega-3 fats, fruits, and vegetables. But if you notice that coffee makes your pain flare up, it may be wise to cut back or switch to decaffeinated coffee. The bottom line is that coffee is not a universal enemy or cure for arthritis. Its effect depends on your body, your overall diet, and how much you drink. Paying attention to your own symptoms is the most reliable guide. When coffee helps. Coffee is often seen as risky for bones and joints, but let us not forget its positive side. One of the strongest benefits of coffee comes from its antioxidants, especially polyphenols. These natural compounds help the body fight oxidative stress, which is a key factor in low-level inflammation. For people over 50, mild inflammation in the joints is very common. It may show up as stiffness in the morning, or soreness after walking or climbing stairs. Drinking 1 to 2 cups of coffee per day can provide enough antioxidants to help calm this type of inflammation. Studies have shown that moderate coffee drinkers often have lower levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation in the blood. In addition, antioxidants in coffee may protect cartilage cells from early damage. This means coffee could play a small role in slowing the progression of joint problems, especially when combined with healthy foods like fatty fish, nuts, and fresh vegetables. Of course, coffee is not a medicine. It will not cure arthritis or completely stop joint pain. But when used wisely, it can be one of the daily habits that supports joint comfort and overall health. For many older adults, enjoying a small cup of coffee in the morning is not just safe, it may actually bring gentle protection for bones and joints. When coffee harms. While moderate coffee can bring benefits, drinking too much can turn it into a problem. Having more than 3 or 4 cups daily may increase calcium loss in the urine. Over time, this can weaken bones and raise the risk of fractures, especially for people over 50 who already face natural bone thinning. Another issue comes from what is added to coffee. Extra sugar, cream, and flavored syrups not only raise calories, but also add to inflammation in the body. High sugar intake has been linked to worsening joint pain, stiffness, and even weight gain that puts more stress on the knees and hips. Some people also notice that excess caffeine makes their joints feel more achy. This may be due to dehydration, since caffeine increases fluid loss. Without enough hydration, cartilage can lose some of its cushioning ability, leading to more discomfort during movement. The bottom line is simple. 1 to 2 small cups of plain coffee per day is usually safe. But turning coffee into a sweet, oversized drink, or consuming many cups throughout the day, may harm your joints and bones instead of helping them. Choosing balance is the key to protecting long-term health. The right way to drink coffee. Drinking coffee the right way makes a big difference, especially for people over 50 who want to protect their bones and joints. The first rule is timing. Coffee is best enjoyed in the morning or early afternoon. Drinking it late in the day may interfere with sleep, which is vital for bone and joint repair at night. The second rule is portion. 1 to 2 small cups of plain coffee per day is usually considered safe. This amount provides antioxidants and alertness without causing too much calcium loss or joint stress. Going far beyond this, such as 3, 4, or more cups, may start to work against your health instead of helping it. The third rule is preparation. Black coffee or coffee with just a small splash of milk is the best choice. Adding large amounts of sugar, cream, or flavored syrups not only increases calories but also adds to inflammation, weight gain, and stress on joints. If you enjoy milk, choose low-fat or fortified milk to add calcium, which supports bone strength. Finally, never drink coffee on an empty stomach. Having it with a light meal, such as fruit or whole grains, helps reduce irritation in the stomach and keeps energy steady. When coffee is enjoyed with the right timing, portion, and preparation, it can remain a safe part of daily life without harming bones or joints. Balance is always the key. Special notes for seniors. As we get older, our bodies respond differently to caffeine. Seniors often metabolize caffeine more slowly, which means even a small cup in the afternoon may interfere with sleep or increase jitteriness. That is why moderation is so important. Most experts suggest limiting intake to 1 or 2 small cups of coffee per day for people over 50. This range usually provides the benefits of alertness and antioxidants without placing extra stress on bones and joints. Another key point is nutrition. Since caffeine can slightly reduce calcium absorption, seniors should make sure they get enough calcium and vitamin D from their diet, or supplements if recommended by a doctor. Foods like low-fat milk, yogurt, leafy greens, and safe sun exposure help protect bones against weakening. Existing health conditions also matter. For people with osteoporosis, arthritis, high blood pressure, or sensitive digestion, coffee should be consumed more carefully. Sometimes, switching to decaf or reducing portion size makes a noticeable difference. The most important thing to remember is balance. Coffee does not need to be eliminated completely, but it should be part of an overall healthy lifestyle. Combine moderate coffee intake with regular exercise, a calcium-rich diet, and adequate sleep, and it can remain a safe habit even after 50. Now that we have explored how coffee can affect bones and joints after 50, the key point to remember is balance. Coffee is not simply good or bad. It can provide antioxidants that help reduce mild inflammation, but too much, or drinking it the wrong way, may lower calcium absorption, put stress on the joints, or disturb sleep. The safest choice for most seniors is 1 to 2 small cups a day, enjoyed in the morning, without added sugar or heavy cream. Combine it with a calcium and vitamin D-rich diet, regular movement, and good sleep habits, and coffee can remain part of a healthy lifestyle. If you are dealing with osteoporosis, arthritis, or other health conditions, pay attention to how your body reacts. Do not hesitate to discuss with your doctor whether switching to decaf, reducing portion size, or adjusting timing could benefit you. Coffee is a drink meant to be enjoyed, not feared. By drinking it wisely, you can still have the pleasure of your daily cup while protecting your bones and joints. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our health tips. Share this video with friends or family who also love coffee, because your small action may help someone else take better care of their health. And do not forget to watch our next video, where we explain how certain teas and herbal drinks can support bone and joint health naturally.